the guy with the clips that had on over to your left shoulder. You know, the dude on the background, the guy that's some guy,
Some
some
dude.
dude. Hey, he just jumped out. You know how y'all come down the hill? He just jumped out the stands and stood beside Dabo. Dabo says it's too late to tell him to sit down.
Exactly. We'll get him out. Don't do this again with this
He like,
trespassing.
hey, you fall, you on your.
Yeah.
What
Y'all
did
know.
you did last night, Gerald? Did you get a chance to watch that thing Grace sent us Friday night? I know you had went out with the
Oh
fellas.
yeah, no, I watched it when I got back. I watched it. I watched the whole Ice Cube thing, man.
So, what
I,
y'all
wa-
what,
I
what
watched.
y'all think about the situation, man? Because like Ice Cube, he said he sounded a little different. He sounded a little different in the interview with Roland Martin than he did. You know what I'm saying? When he did the little what was that on IG or Twitter or whatever. Because when I watched the thing on Twitter, the first thing that he did like in August, he really sounded like he
Right.
was putting I don't know, like he was like, well, he was talking about everything that's going on right now, like where I bail out, where you know they gave money to their friends, where I bail out, and then like he said something about you know the Democrats didn't Biden campaign said they was gonna wait till after the election, and then he started talking about everything that was going on this year, and I'm like, but you making it sound like you blaming Biden for what's going on. I'm like, who's in office while all of this is going on and they paying their friends and you know and all this stuff you talking about is happening under the administration that you said came out there. If I know I need your vote, of course I'm gonna tell you that. But your actions for 4 years haven't shown me that you was gonna do anything.
But I'm gonna tell you, it took a while to him to get to what I wanted to hear, which is toward the end of the interview, because in the beginning it was almost like you was against him, but then if you listen for a while, then toward the end it's like okay, but a lot of people fail to realize Cube been woke. It ain't like Cube just woke up yesterday. Cube been doing it since
Yeah.
NWA. It's just a lot of all people are getting upset because of what he's doing. I see what he's doing. He went to both
Yeah.
sides. He trying to present something.
Yeah.
But
I
what
You
is
I,
he
know,
I
doing?
didn't
I mean, you
I
said
didn't
and what has Cube done literally since the NWA that's been in any benefit to anyone but Cube's legacy and Cube's life, Cube's family? I mean, hey, I understand you feel like you consciously trying to help the black community right now, but who are you helping?
well
What are you asking
after
for?
I watched the first one, I felt like he was really he didn't endorse Trump and said a lot of people's like, oh, now you supporting
no,
Trump. He
he
didn't
didn't.
endorse Trump. What he did was he wasn't endorsing Trump, but it sound the first video sound most 80% like he was just bashing the Biden campaign because they didn't want to give specifics. But when I watched the Roland Martin,
That was August. You're
when
talking
I watched when I
August,
watched the
right?
Roland Martin interview though, he was basically just saying look, we need a contract with Black America because all this
That's it.
minority and people of color, we get buried along with any pretty much we getting buried along with anybody that's not white. We're getting buried along with you know anybody, Mexicans, Latinos. I mean, all Latinos, Middle Eastern people, whatever the minority is. He said, but we need a contract with Black America. And he said, I told people I was going to take it to both sides. He said because all
Yeah,
great leaders at some point have had to negotiate with the other side. He's like, I took it to both
got to.
sides. So, and I need to hear. He said, and it pretty much it came off like he was like the Biden campaign, like they was just like, oh well, we'll talk about it later. And then Trump
Yeah,
campaign, which he said he never talked to Trump, he never talked to the lady that put it out there on Twitter or whatever, Katrina Pearson or whatever her name
But,
was.
but see, the thing is, what you just said right there allows me, and it should allow him to realize that that's a manipulating administration, and they just used you as a pawn against your own people.
Well, in the rolling,
So if they'll lie on you, what makes you think they won't lie to you about, oh yeah, we're gonna do all of this. We're gonna add you guys into the $500 billion infrastructure stimulus that we're gonna do toward all Americans, including Black Americans. It's bullshit. I don't believe it.
in the rolling,
It's gonna take more work. He ain't just finished right there. You know, it's gonna take. Looks like the girl that interview. Like she said, it took him a while to get to where he could talk to the president. You know, you got to rub elbows, or you got to get close to people in order to present something.
Really, does he really speak for Black America? He was a multi-millionaire.
well, the thing is, you know what, Gray?
But look, somebody.
That's what I was about to say, Gray. We talked about it. We talked about it the other day, and we said the same thing. You know, I was like, well, he don't speak for everybody, but the thing is, he made a good point in the Roland Martin. He said, Roland Martin asked him, so why now? Because I thought the same question. Why Q bringing this out now and not during the primaries, and give everybody that was running a chance to see what they was going to do with the contract for Black America.
Exactly.
But he said the reason why, because he was, at that time, he was just, for lack of better words, he was just being him. And he's watching.
Right, he's been a rapper.
He's like, I'm an entertainer. That's what I do. So he watching the primaries, and he like, okay, somebody gonna address it, and nobody addresses it. And now it's like after the George Floyd, he was like, all right, well then I guess if the people that's been charged with this responsibility ain't gonna say crap, then I'm gonna say something. And so that's why I was like, I see what he's saying, you know. And the thing is, I was thinking the same thing. Me and Sam talked about it. And I was like, you know, when they was going through the civil rights, they had known figures that they could look to. We going through basically the same thing now. We don't have any known figures to look to. And so Cube, like,
there are quite a few people out here that I would put in front of Ice Cube talking in behalf or on behalf of any Black race.
But where are they?
They speak and they talk. You have to go out. You have to find the information. There are a lot of people that talk. I'm not dropping any names because I'm not giving anybody any credit right now, because I don't feel like we should be trying to reach out to any administration to do something that we should be capable of doing on our own now. I'd rather have Killer Mike go speak to the president before I had Ice Cube go speak to him, because he understands from a standpoint of what we're trying to do from the bottom half of our race. True. To the top half, not from the top to the bottom.
Okay, but this the thing though. This the thing. I don't feel like... This the thing. But has Killer Mike done it?
Yes. I mean, he doesn't want the ear of President Trump. I can tell you that.
Well, see, that's the thing.
But
I'm telling you.
But he has to talk to somebody though. You can't pick and choose who you talk to.
He campaigned for Bernie strong. When Bernie didn't get the primary, he moved his campaign and his energy over to the Democratic and the Biden campaign. Has he endorsed them? I haven't really heard him come out of his mouth and endorse them completely. He still follows the same platform that would be more beneficial to Black America. But I'm like him. If we're not doing it for ourselves, we can't really worry about who's in office. You know, I mean, you can go back and beg them for whatever you want to beg them for. Even reparations. What would Black people really do with reparations right now? Would that money get invested back into our own community where the people of the future from now can actually say they have this money is there? No, they'll spend it and give it right back to the same economy that this clown is running right now in the ground.
Well, see,
so I don't know.
I guess, like I said, you know, should there be more qualified people? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure some kind of activists out there. What I'm saying is, Gray, we're in the age of social media, dog. You ain't telling me that the people in New York and during the civil rights didn't know who Martin Luther King was, the guy that's leading the charge. Right. I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, me personally, I don't know of a person that's got that kind of clout that's speaking for us. So what I'm saying is, if ain't nobody speaking for us, at least he trying. We can't condemn the dude for trying.
Nobody organizing for us. Let's say that there are plenty of people speaking, but they're even against each other. They're just not publicly saying they're against each other, and that's our biggest problem right now. Is we have all of these different groups with what they call the same agenda, but different motives. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like this group of people who are speaking on behalf of Black people. Then you have Black Lives Matter. Then you have this group, and you have that, and it's really getting confusing to our younger generations because they don't really know who to follow. And it's like you said, there's no one leader.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at who else was speaking on our behalf other than Martin Luther King, Dr. King, you could maybe say Malcolm X, and they were a little bit different, but they still had the same agenda,
Yeah.
just
Well,
different.
you got Farrakhan too. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but Farrakhan gets caught up in a lot of stuff that I think is wasted energy. You know, I mean, he always, and I don't want to make this a political conversation, man, but you know, his
Yeah.
biggest focus during our time was the Jewish man, the Jewish person is doing this, and the Jewish. I can't really dig that because we got to look inside our own race before we start pointing fingers at other races that's done us wrong. Yeah, we've been exploited as a black race by a lot of different people. We know that. I'm not getting into that, but at the same time, we have yet to just self-check ourselves to where we can say, okay, we're responsible for this in our community.
Yeah.
We're responsible for. This is what I was talking like the young guy. Like, you know, we have a problem with the police, but we'll tell a black person or a young black person who can't find a job, who may not have a criminal record, not to be a police officer because then you're a snitch or then you're this. We push ourselves away from the things that we can put ourselves in place to have some kind of power.
Right.
Politics.
Yeah.
Police.
Well, yeah.
Stuff that everybody can't be an engineer and doctor.
Well, see,
so wouldn't hurt.
That's the thing too. We talk about voting and stuff, and like I would tell you, like I ain't no Democrat, I ain't no Republican. We really should be independent, I think, and look at both parties when it come to it and figure out who gonna be the best or whatever. Because I think we should do away with parties altogether. Like I think this should look like March Madness. You put 20 people out there, whittle them down. The next debate is gonna be 10. The next debate is gonna be 5. Whatever. Like, and that way, because it's so many people in America that vote based on party. Like, dog. You just because you black don't mean you gotta be Democrat. It don't mean you gotta be Republican. The thing, and just because you white don't mean you got and conservative don't mean you gotta be Republican. It's like you should be voting on the best candidate, but that's not what happens. Most people, they voting. I'm a Republican, so I'm voting for the Republican. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm a Democrat, so I'm voting for the Democrat.
Oh yeah.
But then to tie that into what you just said, we'll talk about what everybody else need to do, but ain't none of us running for office. Like when I looked up all the candidates. And you can go, I want to say it's like vote123.org or something like that. It show all the candidates for everything down to the school district, dog. And
yes,
some of the people, like you can check the person and save it to your ticket. That way you can print it out later and you'll know exactly who you're gonna vote for or whatever. There's a lot of offices. There's only one person running. And that dude, you know, you look at his history or what his stance on gun violence is or whatever, and you don't agree with it, but you ain't got nobody else to vote for.
All right,
he an ex-mechanic.
All right, my name or I write someone else's name.
I'm saying somebody named Earl. Hey, gun violence, hey man.
There are plenty.
I don't need no gun
on the South Carolina ticket that run.
I don't need no gun. I got that dog out there. Like, right. This the dude that's running for city council. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we ain't got nobody from our community that's actually running for nothing. Like, we got Jamie Harrison. Who else running from our community? But everybody won't change though. You know what I'm saying?
You come down to just those two. You come down to Lindsey Graham and Jamie Harrison. There are plenty of black people running, but they're running unopposed, most of them. Most of those people are farther into their seats, and ain't nobody going to try to run against them. They're going to waste their time.
I've seen a couple of black candidates here and there, like, you know, for some smaller stuff. But when it comes to the offices that really hold, even if you lose, you got to keep running until you win. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Right. And then you can't just have somebody black and say, okay, that's who I'm going to vote for. You know what I'm saying? Like, truth be told, when in the primaries, when Obama was running in 2008, for the 2008, I didn't vote for Obama in the primaries. I didn't know nothing about. I didn't think he had as much experience as the people he was running against. But once he ran and he won, then I voted for him to be president. And then the next time I voted, you know what I'm saying? It's like people's like, oh, you ain't like you're supposed to vote for him because he's black. What that mean?
Boy, I hate that. That
because I'm gonna tell you a prime example. When Obama was in office, the next term, Ben Carson put his name in the hat. And somebody like, well, you see we got another brother running? Like, Did you even listen to anything Ben Carson talking about? I don't care nothing about because he black. This dude can't even stay woke at the podium.
Yeah.
Hey, this same dude that killed Michael Jackson. What you talking
You
about?
can't just vote for that's like Cory Booker. Cory Booker was he was an okay candidate, but be honest, he wasn't better than at least 3 or 4 of the people that he was running against.
Yeah, Cory Booker was absolutely, to me. I mean, Cory Booker is not a bad politician, but he was not ready to be somebody's president. And I think he did himself an injustice by doing that because he lost power on what he was actually doing. Sometimes you got to know your lane, stay in your lane, and focus on driving in your lane.
But what I'm saying,
you weren't.
Hey, do y'all think us? And I hate to keep saying black people, but do y'all think our expectations are just too high? Because we get to a point, just like the Ice Cube situation, anything he do, we just want to just beat him down. Like anything anybody trying to do, we just want to beat him down. It's like our expectations are just.
Well, see, I think it's a result of us. We want it right now.
Right.
No, we want it right now. So when you come out with something, when Ice Cube come out with something, and then once we get a feeling, you know how we do. This is like in friends or family. Once we don't like you, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like
he don't even know you.
We can be best friends, but once you sleep with my ex-girl's girl and I didn't like that, I ain't talking to you no more, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for real. Yeah. So we don't like, as a whole, most blacks don't like Trump. So they like, and we also are the type, if I don't like him, you can't like him. I'm not saying you should like Trump, but if you fool with Trump, then I don't fool with you. Like,
I think our consequences are too high more than our expectations. Yeah. When we feel disappointed by somebody else, our consequences are detrimental. There's no in between. It's either one way or truly the highway. I mean,
I say that because after the Cube thing, I mean, people didn't even. It's like if you don't like what somebody's saying, you just immediately just start tearing it down. Like we have to have an open ear. We have to just sit back and just listen and just let it play out instead of just man, he's supporting Trump, man. Now forget this. No, listen to what he said. See, he presents this to both parties. Right now, he is the one in power. So I gotta present this to him.
Yeah, like we don't go in depth. Like it goes back to what I said. Like if it's a black candidate, we vote for the black candidate. Never mind that he sexy. You know what I'm saying? Never mind that he the reason why you gotta walk 10 miles to go to school or whatever it is. It's like, oh well, he black. I'm voting for him. Well, what's his policy on gun violence? I don't know. He black. Let's vote for him. He black. He black. Oh no, he gonna look out for the black man. You don't know that. Tim Scott ain't looking out for us.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't just be.
I didn't think about it. Yeah, I mean the biggest. I don't know. I think with the narrative, the way it was put out there about Q, hurt him over the last 72, maybe say a week. If you put out he helps Trump with the platinum plan, it's over with.
And see,
there's no recovery.
That's on us though. Like you can't live your life by headlines, dog. Because
you can't. But everybody knew he had a black agenda in his back pocket, and he was going to do all of that. And then when it came to his attention, and they asked him that question first, did you go speak to Trump's administration? He said, I spoke with someone from the Trump administration about the black agenda. At that point, as a journalist, to put the spin to get the clickbait, I'm gonna put the title exactly like I want to.
It's not up to the journalists. I'm saying, as black people, it's up to us.
The court of public opinion reads probably about 140 characters.
That's on us.
We can't always judge off the beginning. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely on us. But guess what? That train has left the station. In order for, by the time we get it back, a whole of people judging Q for what he said and what he did, this election will be over, and the black agenda or the black platinum plan, whatever, will get swept under the rug, because at that point we're going to pull back the curtains on how bad our economy is right now. Yeah, Trump can lie to you right now and say the economy is booming because he's running for office.
Mm-hmm.
Biden can tell us that the economy is in a shit tank because he's running for office against the dude who's in
The only
office. So right now, everything coming across the media to me is
the
a lie.
only problem.
Yeah, but like Isaiah was saying, we have to look beyond that. We already know this time on earth. We already know they all lie on both sides.
Well, yeah, it's a vote
But
unless
we have to look more in depth into it and just be open about it and just do the research and then boom. But they all lie.
Exactly.
I mean, we
I
already
agree.
know. We already know if Q go to Trump.
Right.
We already know if Q go to Trump. Trump will say, "Oh yeah, I got you." We already know that's a lie.
Exactly.
I mean, we already know.
And my
But we
Yeah.
can't just be quick to judge that. You know what I
my
mean?
thing is because I know, like you said, Gray, that we're a 140 character society, especially as black folk. We ain't gonna do our own research. We want somebody to do it for us. Because I know that, the only problem I had with Ice Cube's thing, I'd say the main problem, was the timing of it. Because we down to the nitty gritty and people about to go early vote. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
holds so much weight in the black culture that some people gonna be like, well, shoot, he right, man. You know, Trump said he was gonna do something, right? Buy
Yeah,
6 times later. So
you're
the
right.
timing,
And it's
the time, and see, because I'm gonna tell you right now that I read some of the Black Agenda. I ain't read it in depth yet, and I'm gonna go back and read it. But none of that stuff they was talking about is why I want Trump out of office. I want Trump out of
Right.
office because
No.
I got experience coaching, you got experience coaching, but we all got experience in sports, and they always say your team take on your personality, right? Your team take on your personality. It's the same thing when you run the business or you a leader of a something. Whoever you leading take on your personality. Trump being in office sets the tone for these clowns out here to be more bold, go out here and create more hatred. That's why I want Trump gone. I don't care nothing about what Trump doing with taxes right now because there's
Right.
more pressing issues. I'm worried about getting stopped for a non-signal turning into the next lane and getting shot because at this point his presence is it's like it's making him more bold. Like I could just shoot you
Yeah.
because he won't come out and say, oh, like what that guy, the specific guy did was wrong. He like has he ever said what the cop did to George Floyd, that particular cop was wrong? He'll say
Nope.
generalized stuff like, nobody should die, wrong. Like he'll make some crazy statement like that, but his presence, just his presence is making people feel like they can come out and do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to go to the grocery store. Like, I'm just trying to go to the grocery store, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
what you mean? Can you do a search? I got on gym clothes, dog.
like for real. That's
Yeah,
come on, man.
I mean, but a lot of that was there. It's always been there. It's just now it's like, and like you said, you get empowered by stuff, by somebody else selling wolf tickets. Now you standing behind him, so all of a sudden now you're the tough guy because you think he's your leader and he's a tough guy. That's fine, but
Come on, man.
I want him gone for that and so many
Well,
other reasons.
that's not the only
understand
reason, but that's like what you
Oh, I
when you
know
talking
that.
about.
I know
When you
that.
talking
I know.
about people
I know.
living and dying. If he's inciting, if his presence incites violence and division, not
Yeah,
even
I
dying,
totally agree with you.
not even dying. His presence incites division in the nation, regardless.
Well, he's getting away from politics
Yeah.
anymore. Now it's not even about, when people didn't like Obama and they wanted other people, they didn't want Obama to win. Yeah, they were angry, and
Like
yeah, you stayed within the realms of politics with your anger
Yeah.
and your thoughts.
George
These people nowadays are not.
George
You
Bush.
don't like Trump. It's like you're
George
going against my God,
Yeah.
and I might kill you for my God.
George Bush
So-
Jr. presence didn't raise the height of that kind of thing in the nation. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think. Like even if you don't think he was a good president, he didn't incite violence and division like it is right now. You know what I'm saying? That's like I'm a logical guy. I know all politicians lie, even if they didn't mean to. Obama said a lot of stuff that he couldn't have possibly got done just because people want free
Right.
people want free education, but they don't want high taxes. How are you paying for the education then?
Exactly.
How you
That's
paying
why
for it?
you just drive me crazy about the Bernie Sanders followers. I'm like, so you plan on paying all these taxes
Somebody
to pay
got
for
it.
this free school?
I don't care.
And if
I don't
it's
care if it's the
free,
wealthy. I don't care if it's the wealthy, the middle class. If you getting something for free, somebody somewhere is paying for that. Now, is there a better way of doing it? Could be, but I'm just saying you can't have no taxes and get free stuff. That's not. It ain't working like that.
I just want 6 months of no taxes. That's just all I want. I mean, you can stop paving. You can stop paving the roads. Just give me 6 months. You know what I mean? Just do what you want to do after that.
Hey, John.
whole 6 months to go to your
Hey, listen. Hey, John said you can stop paving the roads, dog. Hey, John riding in the car.
Hey,
that check on fleet though.
yeah. Like the whole time.
But that
your suspension, your cost getting your suspension fixed would be $2 more than that whole 6 month tax.
That's a good point though. That's a good point though, Gerald. You know, people's like, man, I pay too many taxes. But then you mad, you know what I'm saying? Because they doing construction on the road. Like, but if they wasn't,
right, you get
if
mad.
they wasn't doing construction on the road, you'd be like, the government tear my car. They won't fix this pothole. Dog, I'm gonna be real talk. Black people ain't never satisfied. I don't care.
Let's stop. America.
We don't care what y'all say. If y'all like this or not, we aren't satified. Don't lie. We are.
Americans are never satisfied.
Right, yeah.
They want everything right now.
They gave up.
The roads fixed. They want great schools in every community, in every county, but they don't want to pay taxes.
They say,
but they want everything.
They say you ain't gotta pay your student loan back for a whole until the end of the year. They was like, end of the year. Hey man, what about 2 years? Like you gave you 2 years. What about 4 years? Like, yo, at some point you gotta be content with whatever they're giving you, though. Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
That's just like with the with the school situation in the Rona. You know, a lot of people, oh, my kids ain't going to school. My kids ain't going to school. We're gonna do virtual learning. Now it's when these kids going back to school because they just ain't learning nothing at home. Like,
yeah, you can't have it both ways. Like I stand firm that Isaiah ain't going until we figure something out. But I ain't got no problem with that though. Listen. The first thing is, man, especially I got a third grader, man. So whatever he learning, I can help him with. If you can't help your child learn in third grade, that's on you. I ain't saying you got to help that 10th grader with his pre-cal. But if you can't help your third grader, dog, you need to take a look in the mirror and start trying to blame everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't discipline, control your kid to keep his attention long enough to learn and do his schoolwork in the third grade. That's on you. I don't care what I say. That's on the parent.
And you know, but that's what we do. You said it great. Like as Americans, a lot of times stuff it just ain't enough. We blame everybody but ourselves for stuff that's going on with our kids too. They like, it's the teacher fault. Oh well, he wasn't getting shown enough attention, or he wasn't this and he wasn't that. Listen here, man. If they come home and tell me Isaiah didn't say yes ma'am to somebody, it's on. Like, dog, like, no, we don't do that around here. And then, right. No, when I coach, people always, I'm telling you, that's like, Gray, you hit it on the head when you said Americans just ain't never satisfied, dog. Because we always looking to blame somebody else. When we coach, when me and Harrison coached at the last stop, dog, then you know we had a parent email us and say, hey, such and such got a D on his progress report. I'm going to need y'all, if y'all can, don't start him tonight. What?
He ain't playing. What you talking about?
But he got his cell phone. He's still playing his game, and he's still on the team. But you want me to discipline your kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, your kid met our disciplinary action. He got a D. He ran his laps.
Exactly.
His game time is good. When I was Gwen Fowler say, if you listen, them grades ain't just letters on papers. You want to keep playing them sports. you get a D, you ain't got to worry about going to practice. I don't care what the repercussions is. If you get a D, you ain't going to practice. If that means the coach kicking you off the team, then guess what? It's been a fun ride.
Right.
Hey,
I was in the 8th grade, man. I made an F on my final report card. We had the state AAU championship. It's in my yearbook to this day. Our point guard, bro, he said maybe we would have won the tournament if you didn't get no F and you could have came. Grandfather cared nothing about your social life. She don't care. Get these grades. No grades, no sports. That's
Hey,
it.
till this day, they still get on your ass.
Yeah.
You got that F.
No, that's what I'm saying.
We could have won.
Like my mama would
30 years
like
later.
my mama would hear everybody out when it came to discipline in school. She'll hear you out. But she knew it started at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you want to not get grades? That's cool. Well, then don't go outside. Because, we ain't have social media. Staying in the house for us was a death sentence.
Boy, that was horrible, boy.
Yeah, your boy running by your house like, you coming out to the playground? I can't, man.
Hey, you went the window like this.
Yeah. Well, let's play tomorrow. Man, ain't nobody playing tomorrow. We playing pick up tackle today.
Hey, you got the window over talking to your friend. You can't come outside? Nah, man. Close that goddamn window. I told y'all to be quiet.
For real, boy. I'm telling you. So, like, we blame everybody for everything. There's a lot of things that the government can help us with, but it's a lot of stuff. Like you said, we got to check ourselves about a lot of stuff, man, and handle it.
Right.
With the whole clicking on as a reporter, it's his job to get you to look at his title, but it's your job to click on the title and actually read the whole article, and if need be, go down the rabbit hole and do more research. You know what I'm saying?
With an open mind, I always gotta keep your mind open, which I'm working on that lately because sometimes I see stuff on Facebook, I'll go in on it without even doing my own research. Then I get called out on something. I'm like, hold on.
Dog, you hit like for real, dog. Hey, I try not to just immediately go in on stuff before I research it because I don't want that to happen to me. Like I don't want to post something because once you post on social media, it's forever. And you post like, oh man, this person is a horrible person because they did X, Y, Z, and then later on somebody send you an article and say, well, it really wasn't him, it was this other dude. Now you look stupid because you went in on that person. Like when you told me about the Lindsey Graham comment. Of course, when I heard it and I trust what you say, I was like, this dude is tripping. I was like, let me actually look at the debate when he said this. Like, I want to look at the video and I want to see in what context, even though what he said was bad, I wanted to look at the whole thing for myself. So that way, when I speak on it, I'm not speaking third party. What Grace said. Grace said.
Hey, I'm just following up.
You heard it for yourself though, and you realize, okay, yeah, he said some.
No, when I
excuse me, but he did.
When I watched it on video, I was like, I wish he was walking down the street and tell me somewhere I can't go.
And that's why I told people the only punch I could actually throw against this dude is a vote, because I can't get him going to jail. I'm going to jail for a long time. But for you to say that, and then for you to follow up with that saying the good old days of segregation during the court hearing with the Supreme Court judge, to me, you just made two statements that at that point, I don't care who you are, you should not, a person of color anyway, any color, should not want this person to continue to represent your state. And those are the elections that I dig into are the state elections. Because me, hey, I can see with my own eyes Donald Trump is, I won't call the man a racist, but he got racist tendencies.
Yeah.
If the mayor of Fountain Inn was a racist, I'm concerned because I got to drive to Fountain Inn every day, and I live here.
Yeah, Gerald, did you
now I'm concerned.
Gerald, did you hear what Lindsey Graham said?
No, I've seen bits and pieces of it on social media, but I didn't.
So
I'm trying to get out of the habit of jumping on board.
Yeah. So basically, I looked at it and they asked him if South Carolina was a racist state, and he said that no, South Carolina is not a racist state. And he said that black people, and people of color can go anywhere they want to in South Carolina as long as they believe in South Carolina values. And he said South Carolina values are conservative. So, and then he said later on, he said they can go anywhere they want to, long as they got conservative values. And I was like, so even though you didn't say the words,
I mean,
you saying if I'm not a conservative, I can't go where I want to go. Because that's like me saying, Gerald, you can come over here and watch South Carolina Georgia game, but you got to wear Georgia gear. And then you say, so if I don't wear Georgia gear, I can't come over here. Well, that ain't what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if you come over here, you got to have on Georgia gear.
So I can't come to the church's fish fry because I don't go to church.
He said, as long as you have conservative views, you can go anywhere. That to me says if you don't have conservative views and you're a person of color, you can't go anywhere. That's what that says. I mean, am I wrong?
You're completely right, and that's why if you just want to dig into it, I look at it like, okay, so you're telling me, like, in the years of the plantation, I won't use the word because I don't even feel like getting that deep into it. When you were named after the owner of that plantation, you represented that person when he sent you to the general store to pick up stuff, and you better act like that person. So basically, he just told you you're still not free. You just need to act like the people around here to be able to move about this state freely.
Yeah.
Free-ish. I won't say freely. I'll say free-ish. Because,
no, it's
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I got the Jamie Harrison tag on the back of my car, and every night riding to work through Fountain Inn, if I see a cop car on the side of the road, I'm like, man, I hope he's not paying attention. He's going to start reading the back of my car. So all I know, he's a car-carrying Republican Trump advocate. Wow. He sees this on the back of my car, and that's just a reason for him to pull me over, which to me drives me crazy because your personal feelings should not sway your judgment on whether or not I'm breaking the law. Yeah. But they did.
I ain't got none of that.
He sound like a Hop and Bob situation, man.
Tell me about the gun line, boss.
Pretty much.
Long as you stay in the gun line, you can go wherever you want to.
You go wherever you want.
Yeah, tell him about the gun line, boss.
You can go into that tree and get that out.
Hey, well, he was like, where was I? He's like, what was I saying? He was telling about the gun line, boss.
Exactly right.
Come on, say you're the conservative, so you take your ass over.
Your Democratic feelings.
Exactly. The state of Mississippi don't care about your meteorological assessments. All the state of Mississippi care about getting this and this done.
Hey, boy.
I'm telling you, man, but we got to educate ourselves, man. Like, stop waiting for other people to do it. And then when somebody attempts to do something for us, like Ice Cube is attempting to get the black contract out there, it ain't like you might not like his methods, but at least he's making an attempt to get to a better life as a whole.
He's doing something.
Yeah,
Killer Mike is doing something.
Yeah.
Nobody else is doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't see Diddy, you don't see Jay-Z out here trying to do nothing.
I'm like Lil Wayne said he don't speak on a lot of stuff because he said if I start speaking on it, that means I got to be ready to get out there and do it. And he said right now I ain't doing that, so why am I speak? Like I'm not gonna speak on it, and I commend him for that because I ain't leading no marches. I'm like, well, yeah, we could have better people in my opinion, but Q been fighting the system his whole life.
Q been fighting since he had a colonel. Follow the drip type situation. Follow the drip. I mean, goddamn, Q. But Q just like they interviewed the chick. You need a partnership with other people to make the push stronger.
Yeah.
Even though Lil Wayne and all them might not be into politics or whatever, they can at least back him and make the situation a whole lot stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, like I say, it wasn't all bad. Like I said, I didn't like the timing. I didn't like the original post because it seemed like he was just straight attacking Biden's campaign for in the tone for things that are currently going on. I'm like, well, if you got a problem, like anybody, they're not just Cube. If you got a problem with what's currently going on, look at the administration we in.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing is, the administration that we in put a political spin on what Cube said, and they made it
Yeah.
look like he was against Biden and for Trump.
Exactly.
That's just how they are. And but at that moment,
Social media.
at this moment, though, you shouldn't go speak to anybody. At this moment, President Trump, to me, he's not lame duck because he still has the Senate, he still has everything in power. But to go to him and ask him for anything in reference to your vote is a lot waiting to happen in your face.
But
So,
earlier, just like you said,
your agenda.
Earlier, just like you said,
I agree
what
with
is
what
that?
you said. It should have been something said a year ago from Q,
Man, we don't.
where we could actually have not maybe held our vote hostage.
Man, it's a.
But
Hold on, Gray.
it's-
It's
Yeah.
1,000 degrees outside. Gerald smoking in the garage. He go spontaneous combustion.
Ferris wheel. He worked out, ate a fish sandwich. Now he's smoking a cigar. What you gonna do with that? Protein shake?
Let me properly introduce myself to these people.
Yeah, you do
I'm gonna
that.
be I like to eat, so I'm gonna be eating occasionally during these podcasts. I'm gonna be lighting up an old Shannon Sharp every now and then. I'm gonna be drinking, and I'm just weed guys on the street.
Hey, you be you, you do
Hey,
you.
I got the garage up a little bit, so it ain't too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't too hot in here.
Hey, you held it up to the camera. I don't know nothing about cigar. Let me tell you, it costs $1. I mean, I don't know. I told Gerald.
Yeah, I just haven't smoked a cigar.
I told Gerald about our cigar smoking experience. I say me and my wife used to sit out on the deck, smoke cigar, have a little brandy. We ain't know what we was doing. We just it seemed cool. You know what I'm saying? The first time I ever smoked was in Las Vegas. We sick as a dog because we inhaling and everything. I called. I called a boy and told me about it. I was like, man, you told me to get these cigars. He was like, did you inhale? I was like, yeah. He was like, you're not supposed to. I'm like, who's smoking stuff and ain't inhaling? I thought it was like weed.
That's right. Hey,
you're definitely not supposed to inhale.
I didn't know that.
G man, what's the deal? Hold on a second. What's the deal with all these women in Greenville all of a sudden smoking? I was like downtown, just riding through downtown because I wanted to get out the house.
Yeah.
And it was like a cigar bar. And it was like the middle of the day, but it was like 15 black women standing there to get inside this cigar bar to smoke. What's up with that?
A lot. I think that's. I think that's
about 15,000 pounds of them too.
I don't know if
you catch what I'm saying, but
I don't know if that's cigar experience or not. But I mean, it
just seems like there's been a lot of women going to cigar bars lately.
It's real big in Atlanta. You know, a lot of women smoke cigars in Atlanta. I guess. I mean, I honestly, it's just something different. Like my cousin wife, she just started smoking cigars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I honestly, I couldn't tell you. We might have to at some point get a chick on here that puff cigars and
That's true.
Do a little research.
Yeah.
Do a little research on it. But yeah, a lot of women are getting into it.
I'm gonna have to close my end of this out, fellas.
All right, man.
I know this ain't gonna end, but yes, the grind is waiting for me less than 4 hours away.
Yeah, that is right, because you got that third shift, grave shift calling you.
Yes.
So before we get out of here, now y'all, I gotta show y'all the fits, man. Look at the fresh eggs. This is my cold stuff.
Fresh eggs.
Let me show you the kicks, though. Let me show you the kicks. Let me bring the kicks up to you.
Yes,
yeah.
You got on the Kawhis?
Them new right there. No, them new.
Them the Kawhi Leonards?
No, these phones.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
They running shoes. Hey, they got shipped today. I put them on for the podcast.
Oh, okay.
You gotta bring
well,
them in.
You know, when we do our episode and we meet up, make sure you come with the shoe game because we're gonna do we'll do a spotlight on the shoes. I got some in. I got a little something in the mail today. So
got a little
shoe. You put on
a little hat game.
I got them. Yeah, I got them Air Rays in today. They came FedEx prompt delivery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah. I got.
But you know.
I gotta look at what I got because I got like 4 pair right now on the block to be sold. So, but I always got some. I got some.
All right. That's what's up then. Until we meet again, fellas.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Perfect.
Deuces.
Perfect.